What is up, everybody, and welcome to something a bit different today. This is Warframe builds, and not just any builds, my builds. The builds are not 100% complete, as I have not, gone through and absolutely master ranked every one of my items, but the build is to where I like it, and how it works for me. Are these the greatest builds in the game? No. Are these builds that might work for you? Possibly. Is this a build that I absolutely love? Yes. So right out the gate, for those who don't know, this is Hildryn. More specifically, Hildryn Prime. Or as I call her, the shield mommy. Hildryn comes with a lovely set of abilities, most of which I only really use two. Those two being Pillage and Haven. And the reason for that is because Pillage and Haven is Hildryn's bread and butter. Haven should almost always be on at all times, because this affects all, as it says, it creates a shield aura around your allies, and enemies that approach shielded allies will take damage. On top of that, it also targets enemies too. Well, at least mine does. Because this one here, so when enemies come nearby, they hate their life. Pillage, obviously, pillages a percentage of shields and armor of nearby enemies to replenish her own shields and overshields. It also removes status effects from her and her allies. So, which is very key and vital if you have allies that like to run into things. Now, I know for those experts out there might notice I'm missing something. The Balefire cannons that normally go here. I don't like them. The reason being is because Hildryn doesn't use energy. Hildryn uses her shields to power everything. And I'd rather save my shields for enduring combat and protecting my allies. I am the main tank of my group of friends that run this. I'm the one that's in the front taking the brunt of everything, while they get shields and are tucked back, doing what they do. So I take my job more so for sustaining of shields. So then you might be wondering, why Eclipse? Because Eclipse is an awesome ability that benefits you no matter where you are, especially for me as Hildryn. Especially because you can see here that it converted the drain from energy to shields. And 362 shields, that's pretty steep. It's okay. That is actually absolutely okay. Because the damage increase, 339% to your weapons. As the tank and the main frontline fighter of my group, I am absolutely okay with this. That means that while I'm keeping my team safe, I am able to deal crazy amounts of damage. Or, if you're standing in the light. If I'm standing in the dark, 75% damage reduction, which is also freaking great, especially because this is a tank build. So we're going to go in and take a look at it. These are the mods that I am running. Ignore Thief's Wit, it's kind of a placeholder. I don't actually normally run this. So, Corrosive Projection is always a good start. Enemy armor reduced by 18%. Because when you shoot out your pillage, it's just nice to rip it away from them and let them know that their hopes and dreams don't matter. Redirection, shield capacity. It's basically flow, and you gotta have shields. Archon Vitality, which is a fun one. Right now, it's 360% health and status effects, but status effects from abilities that deal heat damage will be applied twice. So with Archon Vitalities, and status effects from abilities that deal heat damage will be applied twice. And that feeds into Blazing Pillage, which is what makes the as you can see, the Too Angry to Die build work. Enemies affected by Haven will be set ablaze for 200 heat damage and restore 50 additional shields to Hildryn. So enemies burn more. I love it. I love the idea of enemies burning more. So these two feed into each other. So on top of me standing there and just basically taking all the heat, I am dishing that heat out even more. Blind Rage, ability strength. Can't go wrong. But oh no, efficiency takes a huge hit. That's okay, because efficiency honestly is a little underrated when it comes to Hildryn. As long as enemies exist, you have shields. You can constantly pull and pillage their shields until there's nothing left of them. It's okay. It's okay to take a huge knock to your efficiency, because there's free shields all around you. Unless, of course, you're really going against Infested, in which case this build doesn't in 1000% work. Because Infested, certain Infested, yes, but majority Infested, unfortunately, my Hildryn does not go so well against. At least when it comes to the abilities, I can slap them around all damn day. But efficiency, you can still take a hit to, it is okay. Rather have efficiency go down, but everything go up. Augur Reach, because it's reach. Because I would like to be able to hit things as far as I possibly can. Steel Fiber, take less damage. Why not? Or, if you're feeling saucy with it, you can switch that out with Adaptation. Gain resistance to things that hit you. That's also fantastic. Take less damage from things that hit you, or gain resistance and laugh at things that hit you. Either way, it's great. Either one. You can go with either one. It doesn't matter. Stretch, extra ability range. Also good. Transient Fortitude. Ability strength, always good. And duration takes a little bit of a hit. I don't really care. Because honestly, like, this drain looks bad. Yes, this doesn't look super great, admittedly. But as long as enemies exist, that's the best part. As long as there are things to kill, you will never run out of shields. That is the beauty of this, is that you can take these sacrifices. Like, these numbers, these red numbers, don't look good. I admit that they ultimately do not look good. It looks expensive. But it is okay, because as long as enemies exist, it does not matter. If there is something that you can pillage from, you have shields. And then if there's nothing to pillage from, turn it off. It's simple. It's really that good. And then, of course, you see pillage here. And then this ability, Age of Storm, I honestly never use it. I use it as a meme, honestly. If I like to, I just go, oh, I'm floating. I like to float around. But I don't use it. I don't use the Balefire guns. To me, they're kind of useless. Like, power to you if you like them and you found a really good use for them. Honestly, though, the how much they take away from the shields, it's not worth it to me. Yeah, there's an augment that I don't have anymore, apparently, that can, that can refund it upon certain things, challenges met when firing the gun. But for me, ultimately, it's just not worth it. Then over here, of course, my particular arcanes. Arcane Guardian with a 50% chance for 450 armor for 20 seconds on being damaged. I get damaged a lot. As a tank, I get damaged a lot. So this is actually really nice to have, because you don't realize that it's like 50% on damage. The amount of bullets that my Hildryn eats, the amount of everything that my Hildryn eats, Arcane Guardian is almost always proccing. Almost always proccing. Then Arcane Aegis on shield damage, which always happens, a 3% chance for a 10% shield recharge. Again, these things, once they're maxed out, will be better. And again, my stuff's not maxed out. I am not a pro warframer. I'm working on it, but I am not one. But my shields are almost always they are always being damaged. So my Arcane Aegis almost always procs. It's wonderful. 3% doesn't seem like a lot, but the amount of bullets that I take as a tank, as the tank of our group, it's honestly worth it. It is absolutely worth it. Now, should you run Eclipse? Maybe. I personally absolutely love it. Because again, as the tank build, when I'm running into things, it allows me to either be safer or deal more damage with my melee weapon. Because if you notice, I don't run a primary. Is that a detriment? Probably. But I don't. I don't run a primary. I have yet to find a primary that I actually like. And again, as a non-pro warframer, people are like, "Oh, you should really use this." I don't use things that I don't. You should use this particular gun. It's really good. It's the meta. I don't play the meta. I don't care what the meta is. I play with what's fun for me. And what's fun for me, for instance, is my kit gun, the Huckleberry. And mostly weapons that change, but I've come to really adore this weapon that you get from Umbra Excalibur. This is an amazing weapon, does a lot of damage, and honestly is my main friend when I'm up close and personal. And again, this nonsense that I don't use. Now, on top of that, you might be wondering, okay, so what else do you run to make this work? I also run Vazarin. Vazarin is a wonderful school for her because this focuses for me on the Guardian Shell. Use your first ability to manifest a barrier on the operator and allies in affinity range. It is invulnerable for 4 seconds when first created, and damage inflicted while it's invulnerable will be added to its base health. 3 to 400, of course, it's not max rank. But this is where it makes it work for me. Guardian Break. When the Guardian Shell breaks, Warframe shield regeneration rate is increased by 110, 130% regeneration delay is reduced by 50. Of course, that's at the next upgrade. It is reduced by 50. So, I pop that sucker out, shield that breaks, shield regeneration goes up. And that's wonderful, again, if you're running somebody who focuses on shields. But how does this work in certain situations? Well, some situations you might find how it works. In survival, works wonderful. In spy, as long as it works great, just don't set off the alarm and kill the hostages. It honestly works in every situation, but primarily I only actually use Hildryn when it comes to fighting big bads. If we're going after the Sisters of Parvos, I bring her along, because they are rich with shields and armor. For going after Kuva, they are rich with armor. I rip apart their armor. I am like the only time I ever lose against them. And the biggest thing that has killed me in my Kuva hunts is when they pick me up and throw me through the wall, and I literally mean through the wall, and I fall out of the world and don't get to respawn until I'm 500 meters away. It's fantastic. Love it. But on top of that, it's actually not that bad. Against Kuva, I am the main front line of combat. I take the Kuva's attention, and I consistently rip from their armor. So I'm fighting there, and there's nothing they can do about it. The worst that they can do to me is maybe throw me against the wall, kick me around a little bit. Sure, I might drop a shield. I might drop my shields now and then, but here's the one beautiful thing about Hildryn Prime. This passive, become invulnerable for a brief moment after shields are depleted. This ability is restored when shields are fully recharged. Paired with everything that I can do, I literally, you can literally, if you do it right, and for me, I've done it right for me, you created a build, the Too Angry to Die build. That is what this is. The Too Angry to Die.
Your job is to distract the enemy.
Now, I'm gonna show y'all.
The ship for much needed supplies. Make your presence known.
Thank you, Mama Margulis. Alright, so I'm gonna show y'all how this works up close. We're just gonna trigger this little meow.
Life support has been cut off. They're trying to choke you out. Hold on.
Oh, wrong way.
Life support.
Enemies will start pulling. Oh no! See that little shield right there? That is their armor, if you don't know. Let's just pop this, and they're dead. Obviously, this is Titan, and it's lower level, naturally, but this gets you an idea of what is so wonderful here.
Drop crucial life support. Be on the lookout.
They are just dead. 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 There's a guy down there I didn't even see. Dead. That guy dead. He peeked his head around the corner. Dead. Everybody in the next room. Dead. Somebody behind me. Dead. 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 Alright. So obviously this might be a bit poor example because I'm picking on weak enemies, but I'm actually trying to showcase Haven. Let's showcase Pillage. Look. Boom. Let's do this. Oh man, that was really expensive. Let's just throw that out there. Boom. Refill. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that stuff. Look at the things procking up there. Look at that. Arcane Aegis procs. This is all I do. Like just proc it. No. Oh no, that hurt. You know what? I've ripped all the armor out from these guys. That red bar means they have no armor left.
Activating it will buy you more time.
They literally have no armor left. Sure, and at that point, there's nothing really you can rip from some of them. Oh, look at that! I'm being invaded.
You forced our hand today.
Oh no! I forced your hand. Oh no! It's so scary. Yeah! Down the hole. And now I'm on fire. And the fire's gone. And look at this. You know what? Let's pop Eclipse. Look at all the procs. Look at that up there. The resistances, everything up there. The more things that hit you, the angrier you get. Well, that's the way I like to look at it. I like to look at that. I'm just getting hit by something. I'm adapting to it because I'm angry. And let's just pop this thing out here. Look, dead.
Get ready for a capsule.
It is wonderful. So this is why I love Hildryn, because honestly, I'm a lazy player. I like to be able to do more while doing less. If I don't have to go out of my way to be sweaty to make things die, that is better for me, because for me then I can focus my attentions elsewhere. Your survival, it kind of goes for how a lot of other warframes are. You survive when everything around you doesn't. Hildryn takes this to heart. I rip away everyone else's chance for survival, and it literally increases my chances for survival. So I hope you enjoyed this little showcasing of her abilities. Now, you take this same philosophy when going against a big bad, because big bads have a ton more armor or a ton more shield. Are you going Kuva hunting? Hildryn is wonderful to have because they will take the front load of everything that you're doing. I am currently in a Kuva hunt, but I'm doing so with one of my clanmates, so unfortunately y'all are going to have to wait on that one. If you want to see how Kuva hunts go, of course, more than happy to show a Kuva hunt from start to finish. Again, this is coming from a non-pro warframer. This is coming from someone who's just an idiot who likes to have fun. So, hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time. Oh, and he's dead too!